Thanks for joining us. 90.5% of Victorians have now had a first dose, and 71.1% of Victorians aged over 16 are fully protected by one of the COVID-19 vaccines. That's why today we can end the lockdown. That's why today we can begin really meaningful steps to open up our city and state, to have our freedoms back. Today is a day to say thank you to more than 5.1 million Victorians who've had at least one dose, and that more than 70% of Victorians who've had both. Now, we do have to finish this job off, and that is, of course, making sure that we turn up for our appointments for those critical second doses, and that if you're on the fence, if you haven't quite made up your mind yet, please go and get a first and a second dose. These vaccines work. They will keep you safe. They will keep you out of hospital, and they will allow us to continue to open up. They are, in every way, our ticket out of this, and indeed beyond. So Victorians, it's fair to say, have done a quite amazing thing. So many people going and getting vaccinated so quickly. We always said that lockdowns were a function of not having the vaccine that we needed, but that if we got vaccinated, we'd have so many more options, so many more ways that we could get back to normal. I simply cannot tell you how proud I am of every single Victorian who has persevered, shown great courage and character, but also shown amazing kindness towards each other. And that's why we're able to end the lockdown and, as I said, take really important steps towards our freedom, and a time when there aren't any rules, or so few that we are essentially back to normal. Now, I'll run through a few of the numbers of the day, and then Brett's going to make a few comments as well, and then, of course, as usual, we're happy to take any questions that you have. I would just say at the outset, last night was a significant milestone to be past that 70% double dose and to be past 90% single dose. We believe that next weekend, so not tomorrow, but the weekend after, we believe that we will reach the 80% double dose mark, and we will deliver faithfully each and every item that's contained within Victoria's roadmap to deliver the national plan. And if we can go further, then of course we will make announcements to that effect. Now, I know everyone wants to know what's happening next weekend, and they'd like to know today. Today's not the day to make those announcements, but quite soon, just as we did last weekend, we clarified for people what would happen this week. We will be out quite soon to clarify what we hope can happen at the end of next week. And the key point here is, if you've got a second dose appointment booked and you can bring it forward, if you're past that 3-week mark for Pfizer, if you're past the 4-week mark for Moderna, then please come forward. There are appointments available. There are walk-ups where you can simply walk up and get the dose that you need. There's never been more supply. It's never been easier to complete your vaccination journey, or indeed to start it. And I'll just go back to that key point. For your safety, for the safety of your loved ones, for getting us open and keeping us open, for taking pressure off our nurses and the rest of the team in our hospitals, for all those reasons and many, many more, this is the right thing to do. It's so important that people who are on the fence go and get the first dose. We're going to get over 90%. We can be one of the most vaccinated communities anywhere in the world, and that will be such a competitive advantage for us as we push into next year. But in a very practical sense, it'll keep you out of hospital. No one wants to be a COVID patient, whether it be in ICU or just on a general ward. It's not a good thing to get if you have not been protected by one of these world-leading vaccines.